everyone, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's discussion on JSJC TV. We all know that alcohol is enjoyed by people for a number of reasons. We celebrate with it, we end the working day with it, we share a drink with someone to feel a sense of belongingness, and sometimes just to savor the taste. But all said and done, we forget that in the end, alcohol is an intoxicant and harmful when consumed in excess. This prevents many from perceiving and taking action to reduce alcohol related risks. This prevents and it also allows us to demand that government responses targets only a small group of alcohol abusers and leaves the rest of us to enjoy. Terms used such as alcohol abusers and alcoholics often distances us from the idea that we need to keep a check on our own drinking and reinforces the idea of something that happens to others to only a small minority of different people. My name is Kanira Dalal, and to discuss this important issue of perceptions around alcoholism, we have an exciting group of panelists here with us today. So, I would like to welcome, first of all, I would like to welcome to our panel Dr. Himanshu Desai. Dr. Himanshu Desai, who is the director of JIBS Hospital, Ahmedabad, that deals with people struggling with mental health issues. He has also conducted several public awareness programs on mental health and is interested in areas of de-addiction. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Next
Thank
on
you,
our
Kanira.
panel, Next on our panel, we have Mr. X. Mr. X has been an active member of Alcoholics Anonymous. He has been sober for more than 10 years now and has attended countless amounts of conventions of AA, not only in India, but also abroad. For reasons of privacy, Mr. X's identity will be concealed for today's discussion. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, on the other hand, we have Ms. Hani Sachdev, who is a trained psychologist, and while practicing a spiritual program, she has had the opportunity to engage on various societal problems along with addiction. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ms. Hani Sachdev.
Thank you,
So,
Kanira.
yes. So, for today's panel discussion, the first question that I would like to ask is what are the key points of differences between a heavy drinker and an alcoholic? Dr. Himanshu Desai, what would you like to say?
There are some people who are regularly taking alcohol, maybe heavy alcohol intake sometime, but those who are having problem with alcohol, because when they stop taking alcohol, there are severe withdrawal symptoms, and it is producing lots of issues, maybe social, maybe financial. Then we call it them as an alcoholic, because whenever they try to stop the alcohol, there are certain withdrawal symptoms, and withdrawal symptoms are sometimes so severe. Sometimes there is a blackout, sometimes there is other physical issues also, and whenever they try to stop the alcohol, it's very difficult for them to stop the alcohol. So these are alcoholics, while there are social drinkers. They can stop alcohol at any time. Sometimes they are taking heavy alcohol on some days, but rest of the days they are much sober, or they are taking daily, but their routine life is absolutely okay. But while alcoholics, where their routine life is very much disturbed, they're not able to function well, they're not able to concentrate on their work, they're not able to concentrate on their social norms, but their main concentration is to get alcohol, and to take alcohol is their main aim. So this is the basic difference between an alcoholic who is taking regularly, but the addict, alcoholism disease, they are not able to stop themselves. They are known as the disease patients. We do not advise those who are taking daily, but they are social drinker. We do not advise them to take treatment. But those who are alcoholic, they cannot give up alcohol because of lots of issues in their life. Even though they are not able to give up alcohol, then we ask them to take treatment.
So next we have. Next I would like to ask Mr. X. What would you like to say about this thing?
I'm away from alcohol since about 16 and a half years.
And what I know about alcoholism is that, I have a disease. I have a disease which is in the mental part, in the physical part, as well as the spiritual part. Now, if I have only a mental, disease, then I would go to a psychiatrist and, get myself treated. If I have only the physical part, then I'll go to to a physician and get myself treated. And if I have the spiritual part, I'll go to a dharam guru and, get myself okay with, certain principles. But here I have a disease which is in three folds. I have a mental obsession towards alcohol, which, makes up my mind that, it's okay to have a drink today. Though I know just an hour back, or maybe a week back, or a day back, I might have created such havoc in my family, on the roads, in the society, in my office, and with my friends, that, I would say it's okay. Today I'll drink differently. So my mind plays tricks with me where it comes to combating liquor. And once I put even a little portion of alcohol in my body, I have an allergy which does not allow me to stop drinking. No matter how much I have drunk, I still want some more. And that is how I have lost 35 years of my life to drinking. I lost friends, prestige, power, my 26 years of, office. And in a society of 72 flats, I was the chairman and secretary, but I'd lost my prestige. Everybody behind my back were laughing at me. Children were laughing at me, making majak of me, even my wife and my son. So this is what after coming to Alcoholics Anonymous, I know that I identified myself with them, that this is exactly what I have been doing. They told my own story, and that is how I got away from this, in this difficult situation, this threefold disease, this illness of the mind which plays tricks, the body which has a craving. This craving of mine will never go till I die. I can never drink like a sober or a temperate or a moderate drinker. Moderate drinkers can drink any of the. There are moderate drinkers, there are hard drinkers, there are heavy drinkers. But an alcoholic like me has an allergy. So we are, as per what I know, is we are about 8 to 10% of people who drink alcohol. We cannot stop drinking on our aided willpower.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. X. Next, I would like to ask the same question, but to Miss Honey Sachdev.
Okay.
What would you like to say about it?
So I would like to share is that I would give feedback only on more of the spiritual base, because I've had been psychology as my major, and I have been speaking to people who are practicing some of the other philosophy spiritually to get in touch with their own self. Because here I can only look at the mental and the spiritual side of what the person is going through, and there is a huge difference. There's a huge difference in hard drinker and in alcoholic. Hard drinker basically can actually take care of themselves, even if they are drinking re- beyond requirement. But when it comes to alcoholism, the reasons they do it, I suppose, is because of the mental power they gain, or the societal norms they wish to break, or the kind of confidence which they don't have when they are not drinking. So that is the difference I would say is there. And also, spiritually, they have lost too much touch with them, because they have not been able to listen to their own voice, or the wisdom, as I can say, which can help them take decisions in day to day life. For example, we all are humans, and we are here to, we cannot say that किसी को लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं होती है, be it alcoholism or be it any other kind of disease. We have the birthright to remain happy. That is a birthright. But because we are humans and we are placed in such conditions every day, which is considered as a school, the earth is considered as a school, and then we are faced by all the problems for which we have to take day-to-day decisions, be it small decisions or big decisions, where to invest and where to put our child for education, and many questions and answers related to day-to-day lives. जिसके लिए we need to have a kind of wisdom and strength where we can stand up and talk. So basic people who don't drink alcohol and they have their wisdom and kind of sanity intact, and people who are heavy drinkers also are not as much affected, like how Dr. Himanshu shared. But alcoholism definitely makes them lose their touch and wisdom, which we require in day-to-day life. So probably, that is the difference that I can see here. Thank you.
Okay. So the next question that I would like to ask the panel is something that is, we've talked about what the difference is. But do you think that moderately drinking or heavy drinking in itself is a problem at all? Dr. Himanshu, what would you like to say about this?
Basically, today the research is going on that that why there are people who take regular alcohol. Out of those people, few becomes few become an alcoholics, and they become really a problem drinker, and they have a regular obsessions about taking alcohol. So research is going on. So there are some genetic linkage which has been found in if father is drinking or mother is drinking alcohol, that the children are more supposed to have this disease in the genetic progeny also, that is also found. So this is basically what research says, that this is a pure biological illness. Out of 10 social drinker who are taking very regular alcohol, out of 10, 3 becomes an alcoholic. So some factors, some biological factors are really working. There are some people who are regularly taking alcohol for a couple of days, for a couple of years, but suddenly they become an alcoholic. So suddenly there are some changes which is occurring in their brain structure. So this structural damage makes them an alcoholic. Yet science is into this process to find out, to figure out where the problem is. Maybe if once we'll have answer, it will give us idea for a lot many other addiction also. This is kind of addiction. This is kind of obsession. So it is coming into that degree that some become an alcoholic, some become gambler. So everything is an addiction. So once we'll start figuring out, then it will be very easier. Now, what's your question again, please?
I talked about how whether even moderate drinking or heavy drinking in itself is a problem at all.
Look, moderate drinking or heavy drinking is, let the family member decide that whether that the person who is staying in the family, if whatever amount he is taking, is they are okay with that. If the person himself or herself is okay with that, then that is okay. There is no definition of moderate drinking, because some people after three drink they are out. Some people they can digest 8 to 10 drinks also. So there is no definition with the size of or amount of the alcohol they consume. But it is basically the biological structure of a person which makes them a moderate drinker or heavy drinker. I'm into a de-addiction program, so I know the pain of the family members of the people who are alcoholics or taking any kind of substance. I know the pain of parents whose children are taking MD or ganja or have marijuana. So I know the pain. So I'll never say that you should take moderate amount of alcohol. You should take heavy amount of alcohol. I'll never say. So any amount of alcohol consumption is, I'll say that no, it's not okay, because you never know it that who will become an alcoholic. So it's better to stop. So for what reason you are taking alcohol? To get the high feeling, to be into a very good mood. There are plenty of other things in the life which you can start doing it, and maybe that will give you that high mood, high moment. So personally, if you ask me, I'll not recommend anything.
Okay, so I'm so sorry we've run out of time here, and we'll have to conclude today's program. Thank you so much, all our panelists, for joining us today, and for granting us your special time and contributing via your opinions and thoughts. We would have loved to talk more, and I would have loved to know every single person's perspective in a deeper detail. But thank you so much, everyone. And I hope the viewers have understood that even a drop of alcohol is dangerous, and heavy drinking can gradually turn into alcoholism. So stay safe, take care, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanira.
Thank you,
Thank
Kanira.
you.
Thank you.
And thanks the other panelists also for
Yes,
Thank you,
allowing
Mr.
me to
X.
share. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
thank
X.
you.
Thank you, Mr. X.
Thank you.